Okay, one of the hottest couples of the season, Meryl and Maks. Meryl, of course, being one half of the Olympic champions in ice dancing. And, of course, Meryl and Charlie did work with Derek Hough with their short dance over in Sochi.
That helped them win the gold medal.
Helped them win the gold
Incredible.
medal. Yes, I could have danced all night. Beautiful program. She's a beautiful, her lines are unbelievable. And
Die for.
I'm going to say it, this is what brought Maks back. Or somehow it was promised. I'm going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I am going to say this because the height difference and the size difference is incredible. Usually they match people up a little bit better. And this is...
Look, I have a big mouth sometimes with some of these things that I hear behind the scenes. I'm not going to say too much, but I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
100% Maks was not coming back unless he was given a contender to take the win.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think none of us would probably disagree on that. And,
exactly.
you know, it's no big deal. But what do we
She's
think of
amazing.
their... She's amazing. What do we think of their cha-cha?
Amazing. The thing is, she is so fantastic, and we expect so much from her that I feel like that cha-cha was a cha-cha. It was a proper cha-cha, but she's the one that will expect something more than just a cha-cha.
But again,
you know
first
what I
week, better
mean?
than first week.
Doesn't matter.
You want more first
It
week?
doesn't
She's already
matter.
up here.
Yeah.
She's
Can I just
already
say-
she's already like a champion. You know what I mean? She's already
I reckon
she's
he's going
coming
to be
up,
saving it.
she is coming from such a high.
Sure.
I know it's only week 1, but I wish she had been paired with Derek or Mark or somebody like that. Sorry, I'm just
Or
gonna say that.
Henry.
Not that it really
I thought
matters.
Henry would have
Yeah.
been an interesting one. They couldn't do it with Derek. It would not have been fair, and we
No.
would have heard
Yeah.
the squawking all season, and I don't want to hear the squawking. But here's the one thing: does she have a journey? That's my big thing. Do you think she has a journey because she's already starting here?
Yeah.
Where
I
can she
think-
go?
Honestly, I think she's that good that Maks could have done a better job with her. And it's not about a journey because she's already that good. She starts from here. So I think what he should be concentrating on is just do his best every single week.
Her best.
Her best.
Do
And
her best.
Do her best. He is best to showcase her.
Yeah.
You know, work a little bit more on technique because those turns, the fast turns, there's a lot of bad knees, which I mean he could have fixed that. You know, that's easy for her.
Yeah.
So
I want to see her
Agreed.
challenge.
but I
wanna see
mean,
her challenge.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I like
Push
his
into her limits. I wanna see
personality,
some
all this, you know,
Tears.
fun and like it was really entertaining to me to watch. And I love there was a lot of cha-cha. You know,
Yeah.
I would prefer
Yeah, true.
cha-cha rather than some sort of hip hop trying to fake the cha-cha. You know, because
I'm with you
when
on
you
that.
get someone who cannot really how to dance,
Well-
like Nini, you know, you gotta
Yeah.
fake the cha-cha.
Yeah.
You gotta do whatever,
What you
shake,
can.
shake, shake.
Well, like bringing up a couple scenes back, Zendaya when she did a cha-cha, it was like a proper cha-cha
It was
that
great.
you
Competition.
literally just took from the World Championships and put it on the Dance with the Stars floor, and it was like, you know what? When it's
Refreshing.
done well, when somebody can do it, it's amazing, and it doesn't have to have hip hop or funky booty
Or
gimmicks
props everywhere.
Or props.
Yep.
It could just be for the purity of the art form, and I think that's what Meryl can really show us, and that's what we're waiting for.
Yep, you're good on wood, as Len said.
Good on wood.
That was a lot. All right, 24 was their score. We move right on to... All right, let's move on to Maks and Meryl doing swing. And
Hey.
I'm going to start right off with you because, I mean, give us some background on what it's like to work with Meryl. What's she like when you're rehearsing with her? What's she like on ice? What's she like in the studio? Because
And the background, how to work with Maks too.
that's
Oh,
right.
you guys want
No,
too
this is
much.
all for you.
I'm leaving.
I have so many comments for that.
For those
What
who
you
don't-
just said, but
yeah.
I'm not
For
gonna
those who don't know, Yelena was a professional dancer with partner with Maks for
Yeah.
2-3 years.
For like 4.5.
Oh my gosh,
Four,
that is a
4.5,
long
yeah.
time. That's
Yeah, I'm
that's
the
I'm so
longest
sorry.
standing.
that's the longest time.
I have you got a big trophy there.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I deserve it.
Huge medal.
Yeah, we want to see the
Oh my
scars. Come
God.
on. No, I mean, honestly,
A younger
you know,
Maks, that's scary.
he's a great dancer. And, you know, obviously you know what he's like in studio too. And you probably have an idea of what he's like working with Meryl as well. So,
Sure, I'll go to the first question and then I'll
yeah, let's go to
carry on
Meryl first and then we'll go to
Max.
Maks. Because Maks is on the judges. We've got that going on.
Honestly, I don't think nothing is better than to work with an Olympians. It's just unbelievable. I mean, at the point where I came in, they were already silver medalists, and they were already a couple of times world champions. I mean, this is just as great as it gets, and they're literally like sponges. Any information you give them, and yes, it's not the same on the floor than it is on ice, because you teach them certain elements and then you go on ice with them, and I don't skate at all, and how they transfer that into ice is just unbelievable. You're standing there and you're literally going, I have no idea how you just done that. Like,
It's amazing.
Yeah.
it's and they're very hardworking. They're there every day from like 8 a.m. until I don't know how many hours. They work with their coaches. They have like 2 or 3 coaches, and then plus they invite people to work for a specialty dance, and it's quite amazing.
I think what I just wanted to add about Olympians is that I think some people don't realize that they're another breed.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They are
Absolutely.
literally another breed to get to that level.
exactly.
Of sport.
Yes,
It's elite for a reason. It
Yeah.
really
you
is.
put your sweat and blood into something that you absolutely love, and dedication and persistency. It's just amazing to work with those people.
All right.
Max got lucky. Let's put it this way.
Oh, he's got a great partner.
I would say that he got lucky in a sense because Meryl would be someone he doesn't need to push
Yes.
to do things.
Yeah.
Because I think he gets frustrated with a lot of people like, oh, okay, I'm tired, or I can't do this, or things I can't, I want. He can't, he doesn't
Negative.
tolerate that.
Meryl's kind of
So-
sassy with him.
Yeah.
I love that she
It's
was giving
great.
it back.
Gives a bit of run for his money. You know
And
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
he's also different with her because for the first time
different.
he got somebody who is absolutely and totally capable. I mean, that lift
Yeah.
that she did in the beginning of her routine, are you
All the
kidding
lifts.
me? Like,
They were great.
I would never be able to do that.
Okay, I mean, that swing dance was amazing. Tons of lifts, tons of
Yeah.
content.
Yep.
And then you get down to the judges. Let's just get right down to that because I think we're all pretty much in agreement. I would think that we enjoyed the stance. Or did you?
I did enjoy it. I do have, yes, what were you going to ask?
I just was going to say the mistakes that they started to point out at the
Oh.
judging level. I went back and watched just to see what the mistakes were. I mean, it was like Meryl started a count ahead of Max at one point.
Yeah, but on her level, that's a big deal.
But it is. That's true. And she
That-
did catch up with them.
we
Though.
gotta
That's
remember-
also on her level.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's just we know who's being judged at higher levels.
Yeah.
Obviously. So it's okay in my eyes. It's okay to point those things out because what else are you going to talk about? You can't talk about things that you would talk about with Billy D with her or whatever. I personally found it hilarious that Carrie-Ann and in his package. The Carrie-Ann pointed out, like, it's lovely to see him actually working hard. I loved that. I was dying. It was it was one of my favorite moments of the night.
So do you think it's well deserved?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely. You mean like the comment?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you don't think he
100%.
works hard?
What is Max
I
like in
think
sport?
he
That's
is.
what I'm asking, because
I think he works hard. I'm sorry, really quick.
Yeah.
I think he's working harder than he has in many of the past Dancing with the Stars seasons.
But he also has a girl that can take it.
Yeah.
Right.
And gives him the passion to want to go for
Right.
that
Well, he
Mirrorball
had time
trophy.
away. He had time to think. Got hooked
He
up with the
matured.
right. Yeah, exactly. Had some.
God, you
attitude
girls just go
adjustments.
too emotional and too deep. For goodness
Well,
sake.
you know.
How hot-headed is Max? When you were working with him, was he hot-headed or is he just passionate? Is it just?
I think it's both. Obviously, you have certain traits of the personality that you can't live without, and Max is very straightforward and yes, hot-headed into something that he is passionate about. That's what I'm saying. He just doesn't really tolerate things like no or or I don't want to do it or things like that because he really wants to make it happen. So I mean, we worked. I can't deny the fact that we fought. Yes, we did. But the problem with that was because we were both strong-headed and we had our difference of opinion. And if you have a difference of opinion with just as strong of a person, this is when you clash. In a student-teacher situation, it's a little different because you don't really have your opinion. All he can do is push. They don't talk back. They can get upset and cry,
Which has
Some of them
happened.
talk back, and there's been
Yeah, but
places to pay
not.
for it.
I meant not dance talk. They can't tell you like, oh no, but
Oh,
I don't
sure,
want to do
right.
it this way because I think it should be done this way because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
really
yeah.
don't have a knowledge of what those
They don't have
things
that vocabulary.
are. No.
So, I mean, they wound up with a 25, and Len gave him the 9, and he said Len's score is the one that matters, basically.
The important one.
I think there's couples going to the final.
Oh,
Just-
There's
yeah,
no
of
doubt.
course.
no
Yeah,
question.
that's not
100%.
even. Yeah.
We can probably
Yeah.
call out the final,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, we
now.
can just eliminate everybody right now.
all right.
Okay, week
Just
3, we're getting rid of like
joking.
7.
I'm just
That's
joking.
more controversy than we already have. But before we move on to the next. All right, then we go into one of the toughest competitors this season, Maks and Meryl doing the foxtrot. I'm going to start the question off right away because I heard a lot of this online. Was that a foxtrot?
Anna.
Okay. It was a very lyrical, waltzy foxtrot. Okay. The song was essentially a so it's a 4-measure song, which you can dance foxtrot to it. The feel of the song was, the foxtrot usually is more jazzy, more bluesy, more Broadway, that has like a stronger underbeat. This didn't. This was all floaty, airy. It would have been a great contemporary piece, or maybe a rumba.
Here we go back to the rumba.
Here we go to the rumba. So it was kind of a rumba-esque, waltz-esque foxtrot. What I really enjoyed about this is that we were able to see some emotion and intimacy, which was great. What I think was a little bit maybe overdone or overpraised is the choreography.
What?
Okay.
Good. You can all attack Anna for getting down on Maks this week.
Well, what did you like about the choreography, or what did you think?
Not
maybe
that I didn't like it. I liked everything. I really liked everything.
See this water?
But it's kind of like one of those things. There are a lot of moments of stillness and of drama and of like nearly making out, which was great, but that took away from the stuff that the girl can do.
Right.
It was like, it almost felt to me like if you have a minute 20 song, right, a minute 20 routine, I felt 20 seconds of it was just
Lost.
making out.
We've been hearing, I've heard this online and from people, they feel like Maks needs to challenge Meryl even more. She is capable of so much, and they feel like he can, and I know you don't want to throw it all out there in week 2 and week 3, but maybe just like little steps each week. And do you think maybe he could have filled a little bit of that?
I feel this girl can do so much, and I really enjoyed her hold. I really enjoyed her frame, and I did not enjoy her footwork.
Oh?
No, sorry.
Jules, you look like you're chomping at the bit.
I appreciate everyone's comments.
Here we
My fellow
go.
co-host. Well, this is a male's point of view from it, and so this is why we're here as well. So, I loved it. I loved it all. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way they started. I enjoyed all the mixture of choreography and then the moments, and then back into foxtrot, and then almost making out. I enjoyed all those different levels and like experiences that took me on that journey. And choreographically, I thought she nailed it all.
Yeah.
Was there foxtrot in there? Yes, there was. But it was smooth, guys.
Yes.
It's not international foxtrot. It's smooth, breaking hold and doing these lines and shapes, and the transitions into the lifts, and everything was very clever and smooth and clean and clear and very controlled and beautiful. And I enjoyed every moment of that. And I thought, how much more? You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to push it to so much that it's jam-packed and too full. Like maybe it was just on the bridge of that. Yeah, she can do it. We're going to see it, guys. Calm down. Let's give it week 5. Let's get the switch stuff over and done with. Bring her back in. And then we'll probably see some different stuff going on as well.
So you're saying that there's some strategy there involved?
I reckon there might be, I mean,
I
come on,
reckon
this
there
is week
might be,
3.
my friend.
All right, we're going to go to our other ballroom expert, Paul. What do you think?
I totally love this piece. I thought it was. I feel like she's at the level where she doesn't need to have so much jam-packed choreography in it. And whenever you're dancing, it's not only about the choreography; it's also about the acting portion of it, which is your emotion,
Yes.
and which is the character that you portray. And I feel like she completely was very genuine with her emotions, and she was very it wasn't fake for me. It was very real, and even like the little things, like this was the dance that I already started looking at details, and whenever you start looking at details, it's like, okay, it's a different level.
Yeah.
Because even to her, like just her presence and her her fingers, like her extensions, her
which I was surprised about was her feet, because usually whenever you're ice skater, like, you don't use your feet. But she was using her feet. She was pointing her toes very beautifully, and even the emotion that she was generating with Maks, and
So you're saying they're dating? Is that what you're saying?
No, emotion as
Start some
in.
So they're
rumors.
together. Is that what you're saying?
Is that what you're
No,
saying?
but it looked like they were together, which makes her very professional, because she's able to portray it that well. You know what I mean?
Okay, can I just ask everybody a question? I don't want to jump at you, which I kind of did just now. I'm sorry, but like, we're looking at this girl and she's pointing her toes, which is very impressive.
I saw she didn't at one moment. Sorry, I have to say that.
But the pointing of the toes is impressive, because in those shoes,
Boots, they don't. Yeah.
you can.
But I noticed that she didn't do it every single time. Sorry. I did
But
see something.
like in the foxtrot, you're not only supposed to point your toes, you're supposed to drive through your heel and your
Heel.
whole foot. Has she done that very much? I don't think so. Now, beautiful arms extension. How is that different of what we saw a month ago during Olympics of her beautiful arm extension?
She knows how to do it.
She knows how to do it. That's nothing new for her. The acting bit. She knows how to do it.
Right.
She does it with Charlie on ice all the time. Now, the fact that she's able to do it with Maks is, a different partner, different chemistry.
Much taller.
Different physicality, everything. It is true. But she's already a great actress, and that's very surprised. I'm very surprised
Guys,
to see
she's
that.
not on the show because she can't dance. She's on the show because she can.
Exactly.
This is not why she's on it. Is to watch her like do so many things that she can't do. She can do probably everything she's
Everything.
going to be given. So just enjoy it.
I do, but maybe it's like I want so much more from her.
I guess
feel like
whenever you compare, though, I feel like she took that week in a different way. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe there are technical things, of course, that she didn't do, but not everyone could do that in just a week's time. And she's not going to be a perfect technician in only a week's time.
And week 3, they were clean. I mean, they were kind of amazing looking. Sorry, I know you're dying to say something. So go ahead.
you sure? Just
I know,
have all the
please.
arrows point at me this week. Let them all point at me.
I really, really enjoyed this number. And I love what you've said, though, because I think there's a lot of truth to that. I do want to see somebody like her to be pushed to the limit. I want to see an Olympic athlete be pushed to the edge of her ability. But I did love it. And I 100% agree with Carrie Ann and her comments and remarks about Meryl inspiring Maks.
Yes.
I totally agree with that, and that's all I've kind of been saying about.
Well, and
her
it's good
in
for
general.
Maks to be inspired, because I feel like,
Absolutely.
especially the last few seasons we saw him, we all get burned
Absolutely.
out at jobs. It happens. He took some time off. He's back. He's with a great partner.
Yeah.
This is good.
And he loved the fact that he got Carrie Ann to cry for the first time in all of his seasons, and I might have had a tear or two,
Or
I'm just
12,000.
saying,
Yeah.
maybe 10,000.
Just the whole tissue box.
Hashtag sorry tears.
Yeah.
It was a 10, 9, 10, 10 for a total of 39.
Yeah.
Well deserved, I thought.
Anna doesn't sound like she was
No,
really happy about
that
those
was a
10s.
little
But
high.
I'm like,
Yeah. Compared to some of the others that we haven't gotten to.
but we're going to come on to the next
yeah.
one where people are going to argue about the 10s
Yeah.
that didn't
Right.
exist.
Yeah. Maybe that was just
I-
a smidge.
I think that the level that she's creating for herself definitely makes it harder for her every week,
Does.
because she has to beat that level every single time, and
That
if
is
she
true.
doesn't, it's gonna hurt her. But I feel like she is at a good level, and like
at a great level.
She,
She's a-
yeah. So she.
She started here, like we
Are
said
we
in week
still
one.
on
But
Meryl?
if
We're still
next
on
week
Meryl?
if next
Meryl.
week she doesn't do good, then I'll be like,
But she will.
just one
she
thing to
created
finish
that
on.
level for herself, so
What
it's up
else?
to her.
What on
Let's
earth?
blame Meryl.
What on earth? Sorry, just last thing for Meryl. What more would you want in that foxtrot routine? What more? Technical, yeah,
Heel
okay, but she's got
leads.
6 days. We all know heel leads, okay.
But the
So
average-
So
But that's 3
technically,
weeks.
technically, you would like more. Just so I'm
Yes,
clear, what? Because
technically.
choreographically, he couldn't jam back anything more in there. So okay, let's put the challenge out there. Technically, we would like a better performance, please.
Okay. Fair enough. Before we move, we got to move. We got to move. Sorry. We
Just
got to get
have a
off.
tear. We'll be back.
We
in a minute.
cannot do the 1 hour Meryl show, Maks and Meryl show, but we're going to move into, I know, we would love to, but we have to move into. And,
436, thank you very much.
yes, we go to probably the most controversial dance of the night. Maks and Danica doing the jive.
La Familia! Sorry, I couldn't. I had to say
hold
it.
on. I want to keep this discussion organized.
Settle, pedal.
What's that?
I want to keep this discussion organized because there's several moments to it, several sections. first of all, you were in the dance, so
Yes.
you were there
Jenna.
dealing with the track issue with the music at the
Yes.
start. So can you kind of like go back and tell us what happened?
Yes, the track was not being played, and we had no idea what was going on. There was supposed to be this big 2 sets of 8 where it's like drums and band, and it was ding, 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 and it was supposed to be in black and white, and then he kicks the jukebox, and it goes all in color. They missed that cue.
Wow.
So I think something happened where the track didn't play with the band. Like it was,
Yeah.
People got
I
in
see. I
trouble.
think this is the
Yeah, people are
downside when
getting
you have
fired.
no band,
it was
because track and band on top of it can go really funky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the downside of not having full-size band.
So
But saying that, I do have to say the music sounds a lot better if it goes right.
yeah,
Um,
if it does go right.
hey,
When it does.
but yeah. I
So
mean,
somebody in the sound
shame
booth
because it's a
messed up.
great dance. When we watched the dress rehearsal, it was really, really
Yeah.
good.
How,
So
ra-
it was- it
how
was-
rattled
Yeah.
was Danica, I guess?
The thing is, she wasn't that rattled, which was crazy because I was freaking out a little bit, and so was Lindsay.
I would
But
kick the jukebox myself.
I thought Max was gonna kick it over, but no, she kept going, and she's such an actress already, so she was very composed and just held it together. But it's just so frustrating because when you practice it a million times a certain way, and then the one take that matters, it gets it wrong. It's just frustrating. Because the dress rehearsal, it was like perfect with the sounds and the lights and
It's a shame.
The
Great.
girls were great as
But-
well.
Shame.
hey,
You know.
thanks.
I loved all those bits
Thank
though. I
you.
thought it was awesome.
Well, that was one of the
I loved all that.
comments
I loved all
that
that.
Julianne made. Well, I guess we should start there. Did you guys think that there was like too much of separation and coming back together for the jive? Because it seems like some people wanted to see Max and Danica dancing together more. All right, Anna, you're on.
Oh, and pass it on to you. And you
made a
deal with
face.
it now. Well, it's kind of okay. Let's put it this way: it's a jive, so you're allowed to separate and come back, and it's kind of a fun dance. I think the purpose of it was to kind of go around and get the crowd going, and then come back together. Now, have we seen a lot of this from this particular choreographer? Yes.
Max.
We have,
Max.
and it's kind of his style. That's what he does. He likes to involve people. He likes to kind of break away and then create coming back together effect. You know, this is what he prefers. And you know, Danica did what he choreographed, and I think I do agree with the judges that she was a little bit like, maybe because of the music situation, a bit rattled and a bit ahead of music, which is, I think now I,
mean,
understand
great
why.
she was with the music. Let's put it this way. Some professionals go crazy when something goes wrong. They go, "Oh my god, what's next? What's next?"
Right.
And this, because she even carried on, she'd been giving a lot of props for it.
Oh yeah, she, no
Exactly.
meltdown. It didn't
Yeah.
show on her
Yeah.
face.
And
I think
she,
she's great.
Yeah.
she was a trooper, and she was a good sport, and I think overall it was a good effect. It was a good product. I wish I would have seen the dress rehearsal now with
Yeah.
the proper track and everything, when everything was smooth. So
I didn't
I-
realize that much was missed.
I was bummed for her. Okay, this the whole negativity, I could see her energy and her face change, and I was bummed for her.
Well, I
put it
think
this
also Max was trying to use the separation of what he did, the choreography, to make her really shine. She had this cute skirt. She ripped it off, was coming out in this
Wow.
Yeah,
rhinestone
great.
leotard,
The
looked
ref
so
outfit.
hot, and was just like doing sexy. And I think he was really trying to make her shine.
Doing sexy.
Yes, and so I think
Hashtag doing sexy.
yeah, she was living. It was her Beyonce moment. So I think it was smart for him, and I think he was trying to do her a service by trying to make her the the diamond of that dance. And so I thought it was a great idea, but I can see how people would kind of be like, but you need to do more kicks and flicks. But it was
Yeah.
personality. You wanted to see more of Danica, so I don't know.
All right,
He
Jules, what do
didn't
you
try
think?
to cover her up. Let's put it this way.
No, he didn't. He put her out there. She can handle
she
it.
can stand on her own, and why not? In the end of the day, it is a competition about them, right? About them improving and showing what they
This
can.
is true.
So it should be more appreciated.
Yeah.
Bingo.
No,
like
I
this.
agree. I agree completely. And
It's
I
easy to grab
enjoyed,
someone, hold him by two hands,
Yeah,
and move
and
them
lead them
everywhere
through.
around. It's
especially for the
easier.
man, the pro, especially
Yeah.
for him because he's leading the whole time.
Absolutely.
He knows her steps back,
Absolutely.
inside out, back and forth, right? So really, she's doing a fan freaking tastic job. And the separation, coming back and forth, why not? Show us something different. I mean, I'm sick of seeing the same cha-cha basic over and over again. It's nice to see some different creativity going on and bringing in like the troop guys and Janet in there and stuff like that. add in a little bit extra, and you know, when Artem's involved in, you know, in
Bring
that
him next time in a
amazing
skirt.
tango. What were you, a soldier?
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure what you were.
I don't know. I
but
think I was the captain of the fleet.
He promoted himself the next day.
but no, I liked it.
What do you
Sorry.
think?
You know, going back to, there was a lot of chatter about these two not getting along during rehearsal all week, or some things like that. We discussed it, and then so I was intently watching their package, and I didn't really see that. I just saw different style of teaching. Maks, I think, prefers somebody that just listens and does, and you know, and I can understand that as a coach. You appreciate somebody not questioning everything.
She's a mathematician. She's going to question.
She'll question
Right,
him.
but I get, you know, it's just different style. I didn't see the fighting that we were hearing so much about. I enjoyed it. I didn't really have so much issue with the judges' comments, and
What do we think of Julianne's comment? Because it did come across to a lot of people as really rude.
to you
What
it
did
did.
she
You
say?
said it was
I
rude.
did. I thought the delivery was rude. I've got to be honest. Like, I understand, like, speaking your mind and thinking. I felt like maybe you weren't 100% into it. I could totally, like, say that, but maybe saying you're phoning it in, it just looks like you're waiting to get to Meryl next week, I thought was a little too much.
I didn't find it rude because I think she's just speaking her mind, and she does that with anyone. Remember last season with Mark? I mean,
Yeah,
she
that
just
happened.
She speaks her mind, and whether you agree with it or not, it is what it is, and
That's
I
why
respect
they're
that.
there.
Well, and she's making good TV, and we're all still talking about it.
Exactly.
Let's put it that way.
I didn't say anything.
What did you think of the comment then? I mean,
Quite honestly, I think I was changing, so I missed it.
that's a good political way to get out of
Yes.
answering the question.
times.
Yes.
Yeah. It, you know, but some of the pros in the interviews were like, it was a little harsh and stuff. Because, I mean, I guess if it was directed at you, you'd be like, oh, that stinks.
Hey, Maks handled it well.
He handled it really
He's
well.
handling everything better this season.
He's letting it kind of like,
So
Yeah,
He's
he's
very-
letting it go.
this is breezy Maks this season.
What do you mean by that face? To speak, please.
Moving along next
That's right,
on the
next.
list.
after the show.
All it's for that couple.
But we all want to know, especially people who are watching this
Don't
right
say
now.
it if you're not gonna.
What? La Familia?
La Familia.
La
32
Familia
is
is back
32 lovely
in full
squad.
effect.
Val and Meryl, Argentine tango.
Wow.
Where do I begin?
Oh my god.
Game over.
Done.
Where do I begin?
Go, Anna.
Where do I begin?
I loved how they mentioned in the package how he pushed her, and how he's like, I'm gonna make you work hard. You do it again. You do it harder. Because this is what this girl is capable of, and I was so excited to see what she is, what kind of animal she really is. I felt like she was held back a little bit, and this number really just brought it out of her. And the speed, I mean, she was fast, she was sharp, she was on point with her lines. All the tricks were beautiful.
Stunning.
The passion was there. I mean, this was perfect number for her.
I think we spent so much time last week talking about whether we felt like Meryl needed to be pushed a little bit. And I felt like this was the week where I was like, yes, this is what I wanted to see out of Meryl. And I'm going to say it, the height. I prefer Meryl and Val together.
Yeah.
They're just a better partners together.
Yeah,
I think.
aesthetically,
yeah.
it's easier on the eye.
Yeah.
Just wow. It was stunning, start to finish. And yes, Val is all about the details. And you can see it. I mean, we got what we wanted. It was mind blowing, just stunning.
And as much as Val said, I wanted to make my brother justice and her justice, and it's such a responsibility. I feel like he actually raised the bar.
He did.
And now next week, she can't step down. She has to just keep.
She has
going
a samba
forward.
next week.
She has to keep going forward from where she's now. She can't go back to the easy breezy, oh sure, let me do something like that. No, she has to be on the ball from now on.
If I was Maks, I would be saying, hey, Val, come on, let's work tonight.
Step into the
I need some
studio.
help. You know they do anyway. They have dinner and hang out afterwards and talk about the show and all
they go,
that
"Yeah,
stuff.
bro,
so,
what you
like,
think
give
of
me
that
some help
step?
on the samba.
Yo, bro, what you think of that step?
But don't
Yeah,
forget,
it's
Maks and
alright.
Val are
It's
different,
alright.
like bodies as
Yeah,
well.
they
Yes.
are.
Both body weight moves at a complete different rate and speed, and
Max
you're
is much
dealing,
taller.
yeah, and bigger. So I mean,
Broda.
it's quite different to move at the speed of what Val can shift at. as well.
Really
So
good point.
don't forget about that as well. It's not that Maks might not. He of course has details that he prefers to work on and everything as well. 100%. He's a very good trained dancer, but this number was phenomenal as well. I don't know what else to say, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it
It's
just
like,
was stunning.
You can't. I don't think you
That
can.
could have been a finale dance. We would have been like, great.
100%.
How was it in studio? Because that's one of those that I kind of wish I saw in person.
It was incredible. And I have to get it out there. I feel like there's always been heat about people saying, Meryl, it's unfair. She's an ice dancer. Okay. They are strapped in a boot with no like flexibility through their ankle. And that's dancers. Everything is pressure through the ankle and releasing. And it's so different. Thanks. Yeah, that's what it was. But so I think it's a whole different.
No,
Hold
I'd
on, let me
say.
finish.
Go on.
I think it's a whole different technique, and I think she is such a perfectionist that she won't fail at what she's given. And so I think that's why each week she comes out even stronger and stronger. And I think Argentine tango was one of her best. I think she should be an Argentine tango dancer. No?
Yeah.
No, she should be
No?
an Olympic gold medalist as she is.
I
She
think
should.
they do have advantage than other people who's in the show.
Oh, yes,
Absolutely.
of course.
A lot more. So saying that they just because they wear different shoes on the ice, it doesn't give. They
Yeah,
still
but
can
I'm
turn. They can balance. They can hear the music. They know their bodies way better than
They know
any
the
of the
lines
people
in the
on the
upper
show.
body.
Yes,
So
but
saying
haven't been
that they have a
trained in
massive
ballroom
advantage.
and like heels, you know what I mean?
Ballroom,
You
smallroom.
do actually do like skaters do train their routines a lot of time, not just on ice,
They
just
train
on the
it
actual
on the
floor.
floor.
So I'd say there's not much of a difference really on the bigger scale compared to everyone
know.
else. It's massive.
I want to see you
Saying
do our
that-
next bumper and some ice skates.
Well, I can ice. That's a whole different thing. I can walk. But saying that, I did like the tango. I think as a showpiece, it was great. I think she did a brilliant foxtrot with Maks.
I think so too.
I thought
love
that
that
dance emotionally was more connected than a tango. Tango was just beautiful to watch because of so many tricks and aesthetically it was moving and there was a lot of changes, which is great. But to me, when they did foxtrot, I say this still was her best dance, in my opinion.
I
Interesting.
think they both have different qualities, but yeah, I could see that.
Because I think she was more involved in that. She was very saying that like
Emotionally connected.
on the day of the performance, I can see Val and her rehearsing backstage literally every time they could. So you can see that she was thinking a lot what she was doing. And when they did the foxtrot, when I watched it, she was just in it, like
Flowing.
yeah.
That's beautiful.
To me, that foxtrot was still
That's art. When
for
you're-
her. It makes you feel a certain way when you watched her dance that foxtrot.
You were really touched by it.
I know. I like
I
that.
was
really.
absolutely. I definitely was.
39, so close to a perfect score. I guess we're too early in the
I
season with all
know.
of that.
Len is holding, Len is going to give it at the very last moment. And it's, he's the
From
toughest
Len
one.
a 10. You know,
He's the toughest one to break, and that's how it is.
Okay, we move on to Meryl and Max doing the
This was
samba
fun.
for Jungle Book, and there was a lot
was
of him.
fun.
Yeah, it was right. It was
Yeah.
super fun. Who wants to go? Go, take it.
Why do whenever we have to talk about Max, why do I go first?
It's
No,
go
but I
first.
will.
Coincidence.
I will. Is it because I'm Russian? Is this what's going on?
Yeah.
Is it racial profiling here?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Well, it was very cute. It was very fun to see Max being playful and not too serious. And he's like, "Oh, I don't do comedy," but I think he kind of does. He actually does when he's put in this situation.
His own way.
He can do it. He can do it. And she's just gorgeous. I mean, her technique is really impeccable. Her footwork was beautiful. I did notice though that she was wearing flat shoes, flat
I
heels.
noticed that too.
And I'm like, I wonder if she's just uncomfortable wearing high heel shoes. And he probably was like, you know what, just forget it. Just wear flats. It's fine.
But she hasn't had a problem in high heels, has she?
Right. I don't know. I don't know why
think
why they chose to wear. I mean, sometimes things happen when the last minute, you know what, just wear flats. Like, that's fine. I mean, it was like an inch and a half heel. But to me, I would love to see her in heels just because I'm biased like that. And I think
It looks better.
I
it
hope they
looks
do
better,
rumba.
yeah.
Have they done a rumba yet?
I hope they don't do rumba bare feet, okay? Because first of all, it's been done.
Smack her in some heels and get some proper leg
Get
actions.
some
Let's see how it
heels
goes.
because she has beautiful footwork and great lines and amazing balance. I thought technically this dance from her was just on the money.
Jules?
Yeah, this was so fun, and the package was so funny.
The package was funny.
Yeah, the package. Everyone's packages this week I thought were really, really entertaining.
Enjoy.
Yeah, the music in the set, and he was just lying down, juggling the fruit, just like chilling out. I thought this was real cool.
I like how
I want to be in the Disney
I like that he
week.
says, you know, that she's rekindled his, you know, passion for dance or whatever the words he said. You know that it's because of her, and you can tell in all their interviews after the show. I mean, they are like locked in. Arm in arm, attached. Like they have definitely a soul connection, for sure. Look at Anna's face. She's like, you never know. Maybe it's all enough dating. Who knows?
Like
Don't
that
start
would be
that,
first.
Sorry.
Yeah, that would be a first. Sorry.
Not to go
it's
too
true.
far. The package. One of my favorite parts was that he called himself Mowgli, but on steroids. I
Yeah,
thought
that
that
was
was hilarious.
hilarious.
That was really funny.
Yeah, see, he is humorous. He has got a sense of
He
humor.
has a sense of humor.
He just
doesn't
doesn't
let
bring it
us
out
see it.
all
No.
the time.
We
all
should
the time.
see it. We should.
100%. No, but this was an awesome sound. But I thought it was really fun, and the music and the setting, everything. She had a lot of content in there, and I mean,
It's good.
I love what she brings to the floor. I love her, and she's like a Disney princess herself.
Exactly.
Right, that's why he wanted her to be a
And
princess.
it's a shame that they switched it up. But
she's
still, she
a
delivers every week, and that's what I love about her. She's going to deliver. Now let's see what else you can deliver next week, Delivery Girl.
I want to know if you guys think that she took a step up this week, being back with her original partner, or do you think it was about the same level? You know, because we always want her to be pushed, and she had such an
Samba's
amazing
a
week
hard
last week with
dance.
Val.
Samba's a hard dance to do as well, and I think she did pretty good for doing Samba this week.
But I also feel that it was a different intensity dance. It was a different character of a dance. This was more comedy.
Yeah.
This was more fun and kind of flirty versus the tango from the week before was just so intense and so dramatic. It was just a different flavor to me. And I didn't think she stepped down. I think it was kind of like an afternoon mint tea versus a
Afternoon delight.
spicy chai.
But also
I love your analogies. They're amazing.
Because it's Disney week.
yes.
So because it's Disney week, I feel like the competitiveness was kind of put on hold a fraction, and Disney just took over.
Interesting.
So it was like the competitiveness was put aside. It was just all about the magic and Disneyness of the week, which I really enjoyed.
And being delightful.
I love that face, Jules. That was amazing.
being
Well, they got a 36.49. Did you guys think that was right on?
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't bring the girl down. Technically, she's very good.
No.
Okay. All right.
All right, moving into the ladder dances. Meryl and Maks doing the tango.
Oh my gosh.
Who wants to talk about it? Because the last few weeks, every time we talk about Maks,
Oh,
it's
I'll go first. That's
Well,
fine.
let's go to the package first for Psychology 101, Maks and Meryl.
Okay, I have several opinions on that actually.
Yeah.
I love that he had his guard down with the camera in the room.
Thank the
and
Lord.
shared himself. That was refreshing.
Yeah.
I love that she's intuitive enough to know what's going on with him. And I feel like because of what her personality is and her energy versus him, it is a great balance.
And she's
that's
got her
part of the-
Olympic mental game.
Yes, and part of the intensely amazing, perfect chemistry with this couple. Yeah, that's what I have to say about the package.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I agree with Suri. It's very refreshing seeing Maks after 13 seasons actually saying, yeah, I am freaked out. Yes, it is intimidating in the way, and it is a lot of pressure, and absolutely. So it's like, thank you. You mean you, just like everybody else, you have blood and you bleed? Like, we'd like to know that as viewers. And I mean, obviously, I know Maks for a long time, and it's taken him a little bit to get to there. It's a huge step for him, and I'm actually very, very proud of him. I think that's just wonderful. Like on a human level for him as a friend, I'm very, very proud of him for doing this.
Absolutely. Yep.
I'm just so happy to be on a season with Maks. You know, and I mean, my first season as a pro, but also to see him back on the show. I think he represents such a big part of this show, you know, from the get-go. And I think he's done so much to add to the show for us as well. So to see him on, it's you know, apart from him being a very good friend of mine, it is just wonderful. The fact that him and Meryl are together is unbelievable, because the chemistry, there's no faking that chemistry, you know what I mean? She's super sweet. He's also sweet, and she brings out that side as well, and obviously that genuine honesty from him comes out. You know, week by week, it is tough to come up, but when you have someone that you could push to the limit,
Yes.
it is hard to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to push it again this week, you know, and week by week, and then, you know, people look at you as a front runner or whatever the
A lot of pressure.
Right.
yeah, it is a lot of pressure, but he's doing a phenomenal job with her. She's doing a phenomenal job as well. With him and with herself.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to just jump into it and do it, you know, and I had the benefit and the pleasure to work with them today for just something coming up, you know, and I could see it, you know, I could see how she's not like just going into it and going wham, 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 like a professional dancer would.
Yep.
She is going through all of that. So I don't know, I'm so impressed with them, and every time they come out, it's like amazing. You know, I'm really happy
Well,
with it.
I feel like all of us here, you know, looking from the outside, I mean, this is a great view that you get from the inside, being right there. Looking from the outside, we felt like she was held down a little bit, like we felt like she needed to be challenged more and challenged more and challenged more. But I was thinking actually today about this situation. I'm like, well, I've missed, you know, Maks has not been on the show for a full year, and then, you know, like I haven't been on the show, and it's like, let's say if if they call me and like, hey Anna, we want you to do the season on the show for whatever reason, and they'll give me somebody as good as Meryl, or let's say Charlie, I would freak out. I mean, I would be running around like a chicken with my head cut off and be like, holy cow, I have not done that same type of work under pressure. I mean, I've, you know, always choreograph and stuff, but it's you take your time and you have lesson, and then the week later they come in, you get to fix it and stuff. This is a real pressure cooker, and then there's so much expectation, and we talked about it a lot, and it is like on a professional level, I can relate to him. Like, it takes a little bit of time to gain that momentum back. And I feel like this was the week that, he's back. Like,
Yes.
I just remember him with Mel B, and that dude was on fire with her. And now I feel like this is the level that we've been expecting from Meryl
And from Maks.
and Maks from the get-go. And I feel he hit the stride, and I do feel that sort of a mental vulnerability, relaxation kind of caused it. So again, I give my props to him. I think that those perfect scores, those 10s were
Totally fair.
Totally
God.
fair.
but it wasn't only for Meryl, it was also for Maks.
But
So-
this was Max's breakthrough week, don't you
Yeah,
think? That's what it felt
absolutely.
like.
What I want to add to what you just said, which is, and Tony has said this before, it's almost harder to choreograph when you have somebody really, really good. And I know-
Yeah.
and for me as a choreographer too, when I get somebody that is amazing, you like are racking your brain. Like,
Yeah.
what, you know, you want it to be at that level
extra
that they
pushed.
can do. Yeah.
But another
For sure.
thing that Meryl does is, we've been talking a lot, like we've been wanting Maks to push her, but she also makes everything look effortless.
Yeah.
So then we're looking like, this looks so
God.
easy for her. We want
Right.
harder. So, you know, from a viewer's eye, sometimes we're like, we want that push more. But I just felt this week, I was like, it was hot. It was tense. It was suspenseful.
Beautiful.
Every single
Yes.
moment was beautiful.
Can I just say she reminded me when she came out of Madonna because
Yes.
of her costume. Did you
Yes.
feel that way? I was like, that
Totally Madonna. It's express yourself, isn't it? It was totally the express
So
yourself.
gorgeous.
That was the
I was like,
inspiration.
oh
amazing.
yes, I want to jump in there. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was probably one of my favorite outfits of the night. Yeah.
And remember, they were traveling to the East Coast. I mean, you know.
Were they as well?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course. I mean, they're going to be traveling the whole time. So can you imagine that pressure on top of that?
Correct.
So it's not.
Tiring.
It's just not that easy.
And they
you
were
know
in
what I mean?
Manchester, New Hampshire. That's kind of my neck of the woods where I grew up. It's remote. It's not like you're not going to Boston. You're
It's-
going
it's so funny because they showing. Well, it was more with Charlie's package. They showed the studios where they practice. I'm like, oh my god, I've been to that studio with Evan. Yeah,
It's like the local dance school or something.
I'm like, oh yeah, totally. I remember that studio. Yeah, with
Yep.
fake flowers with dust bunnies.
Yep, they've been there since 1972.
Hey, it's good. They're very homey and very cute. They treat you really, really well.
I bet they do. They're very
there.
excited for you to be there. Okay, perfect score. Scorty.
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 Love a good Scorty.
There's your hashtag for the week.
Hashtag Scorty it is. And a Scorty for a 40. But let's move on to